everyone, my name is Kaikun6 and I'm here to do another salsa video. I would say I did label this one as like a condiments type of thing, especially for if you're trying to look for this under like one of the I guess like the playlist or something like that. But anyway, I am back to returning to making another salsa because I haven't had a chance to like sit down, jot some notes down or anything just for like a playlist story video. And plus, I have been meaning to make this video for a while anyway because of the fact that the tomatillos, which I'm going to be showing you guys in a minute, like have been sitting in my fridge for a few days, and I'm like, I need to make this green salsa. So I'm going to be using these. And they're kind of like relatively small since they were the only size I got to pick out at my local Walmart. So we're going to be using that, and ignore the color on this because it has been sitting also in my fridge for a while. But I got cilantro, I got some jalapeno peppers, I got onions. They're like diced up. And if you're like me, you like to prep ahead of time. I chopped up like a small onion and I diced it up anyway, but there it is. And then I have my salt. And then of course there's a recipe card right here. So, but yeah, we're gonna go follow through on this recipe card. And there's gonna be a saying on here that I'm gonna be saying a lot because of the fact that this is like my mom's recipe. I have been making this with her for so many years, and like a lot of the time some details are like, okay, it's gonna be going by me, but this is like authentically from my mom. So I've been saying this phrase a lot, especially with my husband, because he always likes to like, you know, push my buttons sometimes. So it's a normal thing in marriage. But anyway, but yeah, if you have a problem with my mom's recipe, then take it to my supervisor, ho. So there you go, that's the saying. And the supervisor is technically my mom. So if you have a problem with the recipe, take it up to her, but not really, because if you try to be mean to her, I'm gonna be mean to you. So anyway, let's get on with this. So the first thing we need to do is do something with these tomatillos. So all you need to do is just remove the husks and wash them. So now that you removed like the husks and washed them, which I know, by the way, if you have never ever touched these before, they get really slimy and sticky. So just make sure you actually wash them thoroughly. But I just wanted to show you guys what they look like different sizes and stuff. And in this recipe, I am going to be using 10 of them. So now that they're in this pot, now I'm going to go add the other ingredients. The other ingredients, what I'm talking about, is these 2 jalapeno peppers. I wanted to add 3, but I was just like, you know what? I don't know if it's going to be spicy or not, but we will see. So I'm just going to add these 2 in the pot. Now, I'm going to go fill this up and then start boiling it. Alright, I have the tomatillos and the jalapenos boiling right now, and that's going to take a while for it to cook. And what you're looking for is like a different color for them. Like for an example, like the vibrant colors that these vegetables have is going to start turning muted, and then they start getting a little bit squishy, especially the tomatillos. That's when you know they are ready. So yeah, so for now, I'm going to wait till these boil and they get cooked and all that. So for the meantime, get yourself something to drink, to eat, or whatever. Or if not, do something basically on the side, like, you know, do laundry, do dishes, whatever, because this will take a few minutes to do. So yeah, so what I'm going to do for the meantime is probably like clean up the house, even though I know it's still a mess. And as you can see, it's still a mess. Yeah, I tried cleaning whatever I could, and it's still disgusting mess, as you can see in front of you guys. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to clean, and then I'll check on you guys in a little bit to see what they look like. What I haven't shown in front of you guys, other than just like the tomatillos and the jalapeno peppers and all that on top of my dishwasher, was these, which are like garlic cubes. I have shown these before, and I have told you guys like why do I do them, and it's only to preserve like the freshness of the garlic. So what I did was I blended them up in a blender because I don't have a food processor, which one day I will get one. And then I put them all in like this little Ziploc bag, and then I evened it out so that way all the air can get out of it. And then I just started using a chopstick and then just made them into cubes. And I got this idea from like a Korean family that I watch on Facebook all the time. So thanks to them, I have been preserving all of my garlic cubes in bags like this. I think I have like 2 of them. And recently I found another one that was just like by itself, so I was like, okay, let me go add them to this. So that's what happened. So yeah, so if you have like fresh garlic cloves, you can add them into your blender cup immediately once it's been chopped up, minced up, whatever. Or if not, you can just throw them in there whole if you're that lazy, and then you can let the blender or food processor do all the work. But I'm going to be using a blender today. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you guys. But yeah, I'm starting to see like it's starting to boil in front of me. Like I see the steam coming out for the pot. So I will be checking on you guys in a little bit just to see what the tomatillos and jalapeños look like once it's been boiling for a few minutes. And also to add, the reason why I do those garlic cubes like that is just to preserve it and all that, but I felt like the food tastes a lot better with it. And then and also like the Korean family I watched, they said that garlic does go bad over time, especially being in the fridge or something like that. So it'd be better if you just preserve it in the freezer. And so I have been doing that for months now, and honestly it does make a difference. So but if you're like fresh garlic person or the minced garlic in a jar, that's up to you. But all I know is that I'm gonna keep the garlic cubes in the freezer for the meantime so they can retain their shape. And by the time everything else gets done, I'm gonna add the garlic cubes fresh out of the freezer so that way they can be used. And for that recipe, I'm gonna use 2 garlic cubes. So because a lot of the time it just depends on like your preference and all that. I felt like I've tweaked this recipe a bit for my liking. So I would say, tweak it to your liking. Maybe you want more tomatillos in there. Maybe you want more jalapeno peppers in there. That is up to you, but I am going based on like what my mom uses. And plus, it's like she adds more jalapeno peppers over time because of the fact that sometimes her jalapeno peppers over there in California is either they're not that spicy, so she'll be adding more of the time. But here, I know my jalapeno peppers, especially from my local Walmart, so they get spicier as time passes by. So that's why I'm only using 2 in the recipe instead of 3. But I'm just showing you guys how I do my version of the salsa verde, so that way, that way y'all can make it and see what you think about it or whatever. But yeah, like I said before, this is my mom's recipe. And if you got a problem with that, take it up to my supervisor, ho. Yeah, it is bubbling right now. And that's a good sign, to be honest. Like, it's turning into like different colors right now, but it's not enough where the tomatillo will get squishy. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Because if you're very impatient like me, because sometimes you will just add it in and with water and this and that, but if you want to like make this boil a little bit faster, add like a pinch or salt or 2, and then that way it'll boil faster. I don't know why, but that works, but it works for me. And so yeah, there you go. I just wanted to give you guys a tip and just show you like it's really boiling. Some of the water is splashing out of the pot. So yeah, anyway, let me go clean this up and then I'll just show you guys in a minute like the end result. Okay, I wanted to show y'all that while you're actually like letting this boil to the point where they start turning like this, I don't know if you guys can see it because I know it's the horrid lighting in here, but if they start to split open like that, that's when I know that it's ready. But if you're like my mom and you don't care about like the splitting and the opening for it, you just want it where it's like super squishy, that is up to you. But I feel like this is ready to be not only cooled down, as you can see the steam coming off of it, but like just to be be placed with the other tomatillos in here once they're done. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. Just an update, y'all, all the tomatillos are done and I need to wait for the 2 jalapenos to be done. But look how different the color is previous to like a previous scene that you seen that like they were like this beautiful vibrant tomatillos, and now they're like this dull like mustardy yellow type of color. And this is the color that you are looking for. I don't know, like I said, this lighting is horrendous, but Hopefully you're able to see it. And yeah, some of the water is still coming out of the tomatillo. And so basically for now, you let them cool off. Like if you're like my mom or just me, like we let them cool off in the blender cup, so that way, you know, it'll cool off faster. But if you want to, you can cool them off and put them like on a plate or some sort of like pan or something, so that way they will cool off. But for me, the blender cup has always worked. And I don't know if you can see it in here, but you see some skins in there. That's optional. You could remove it if you want, but for me, I feel like the skins give it a lot more flavor. So if you're like somebody that doesn't like the skins, go ahead and remove it, and not just leave it all in there, because honestly, you're paying where like you paid for this, and you're gonna utilize everything that you paid for. So that's why. So yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys an update. But it is not a pretty color, but they are looking beautiful. So yeah, I'll just show you guys the end results of the jalapenos. All right, you guys, the jalapenos are done, and as you can see, they kind of look a little bit squished in or everything. But if you're anything like me and my mom, you have to wait till they burst open in order to, you know, to be fully done. Yeah, you could wait for that long, or if not, you could wait until they're like this type of texture, and like I said, it's already to like this dull green color, and that's what you're looking for. So yeah, so now just to not burst your eardrums, I am going to blend this up, add the garlic cloves also, and I forgot what else I was gonna add in here, but I think that's it. Unless you're kind of like, it depends on like your preference. You can add the cilantro leaves in there to give it like a little bit more color in there. That's up to you. I am going to add the cilantro into this. And what you need to do is just add like a handful of them if you like. It just depends on your preference. I love cilantro and I love the taste of it, so I'm going to add a lot to it on this. So yeah, I'll just show you guys basically when I add the garlic and everything else in a minute. Okay, I just added like the handful of cilantro. I have tiny hands, so it doesn't seem much, but believe me, it's a lot in there. And then I added like 3 garlic cloves. Technically it's supposed to be 2 because I love garlic, but one of the pieces seemed a little bit too small, so it's hiding somewhere in here that there's like a little smaller one in there. So technically it's like 2.25 cloves of garlic in here, but still, if you love a lot of garlic like I do, add as much as you want basically. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go blend this up. So yeah, I'll just show you guys what it looks like once it's been blended up. Okay, now that it's been blended up, this is what it looks like. Let me go remove the lid for this one. And yes, it is still hot, so if you're impatient like me and you have a really good blender cup that could withstand some heat, go ahead and cool them off way more before you actually blend it up, because if not, it's gonna mess up your blender cup. But so far mine has been good. So that's what it looks like, and it's very, very beautiful. You could actually see like little pieces of that green cilantro in here. Maybe you can see it like this at this angle. So now for the next step, it's very optional, but for me, I feel like I love the option of like, yes, I chopped up some onions in here and well, diced them up, but not really well. You could put it in there like raw, whatever, but for me, I like the taste of like the raw onion in here. So all you need to do is just throw in as much as you want for onions. You can do a handful or 2, it just depends. Like, I'm not going to give you an exact measurement, but if you want one right now, I would say do like a quarter of an onion to start out with, and then from there you work it up to maybe half an onion, which I am going to do in this was like basically 3/4 of an onion, so I'm only going to use like basically half of that. So yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go add the onion, and then I'm gonna add salt to taste, and then after that I'm gonna add some lime juice, which I have forgot to mention in the recipe that if you like a brighter flavor or just something that will make the salsa pop, I would say add some fresh lime juice. I don't have any fresh limes. I have lime juice in a bottle, so I'm going to be using that, and then I'll just show you or I will tell you how much you need for the lime juice, just in case you want to put some in this recipe. Actually, to be honest, like, lime juice is optional. I have seen people not add it in there, but for me, I love the taste of lime juice in a green salsa. So yeah, so now let me go add the salt and the onion to this. Okay, I have added the onions. I also added the salt, which I had to do like basically like a quarter of a teaspoon a lot because I am using kosher salt. So I had to like add it a little bit each time so that way I'll know that I have found the right balance of like saltiness and still bringing out some flavor. And then I also added the lime juice, which I could probably show you guys the bottle since I'm like right here where my fridge is. But I use this. I put also a quarter teaspoon at a time depending on like the flavor popped out. And I ended up adding like basically the same amount, was like 1.5 tablespoons. No, not really. I was gonna say like, because I know the measurements are gonna be a little bit off or something, but I feel like I've added maybe a total of like 3 teaspoons, I would say. So maybe like 1 tablespoon for each of the salt and the lime juice, and I feel like it came out fine. It actually changed the color a bit, especially when I added like the onion and the cilantro. So there you go, that's what the consistency it looks like. So now I'm gonna be tasting it, and I have like this silicone spatula so that way I'll be able to taste it. And so yeah, it is really good, you guys. I love it. I am going to transfer this to a squeezable bottle so that way I'll be able to have green salsa whenever I want. But if you're somebody that doesn't have squeezable bottles or anything like this, I would say just put it in a glass serving tray or like a bowl, I would say, especially that has a lid on it if you want to preserve it. And then that's when, if you have some extra cilantro, you can like throw in like the leaves for decor, and maybe a little bit more onion and all that stuff. So that depends on you. But yeah, I didn't wrote this down on the recipe on the card, other than not adding lime juice to it to the end. But I also added pepper to this, and all I did was like a few cranks of that because I felt like the salt did give it some flavor, but like I love the taste of pepper. So to me, I like it, so I added it in there. But for y'all, it's optional. You don't have to add anything else. It's up to you what you want to add. But this is like the most simplest recipe you can make, which is the Tomatillo Salsa Verde. So there you go. That's basically much it. I just wanted to show you guys. But yeah, I wanted to make this video also because I forgot to mention it in the beginning, is that not only because I didn't have the playlist story video ready and stuff like that, but it's because I am going on vacation next, like basically this upcoming weekend, and I'm gonna be going to California. I'm gonna go see my family and friends over there. It's gonna last for a week, so I'm not gonna be uploading a video next week, but I'm gonna try to see if I could like record some shorts or something. But I just know for myself, I'm gonna be living in the moment, just chilling with my friends and mainly with my family, so I can finally meet my niece from my sister and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, yeah, that's basically much it I want to show you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and yes, it was a little bit long because I like to explain myself and I do ramble on a lot. So hopefully you guys, you know, hopefully you make this. Tell me what you think about it. If you like it, then cool, and then let me know what else did you add it on there for, like, you know, to you know, brighten the flavor up or just to change it a little bit. But this is the simplest recipe you can go for. And yeah, but if you're somebody that likes big chunks of onions in this, you can just throw it in there like I did. I just wanted to blend it up in there so that way I'll know that the onion is in there, and it just gives it that little, you know, that pungent flavor of the onion in there. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go now. So hopefully you guys have a lovely day and a lovely week, and I'll see you guys not next week. I'll see you guys the week after that. And I have a Mercari pack and order video for you guys coming soon. So once I upload this video, I'm gonna upload that other order packing video. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. All right, bye everyone.